Hello my beauties, welcome back to my channel. This is maybe here again with another video. In today's video I'll be showing you all how I made this gorgeous bonnet that can serve as a head wrap as well. So this is like a two-in-one bonnet. So if you're interested in knowing everything I did in order to achieve this bonnet, make sure you watch this video to the end. If you're not subscribed, make sure you smash the subscribe button, like this video if you enjoy watching, and yeah, let's just get right into this tutorial. Alright guys, so for the purpose of this bonnet, you need two different types of fabrics. You need your Ankara fabric, you also need a satin fabric. Feel free to use a cotton fabric if you don't have access to an Ankara fabric. You need your pins for securing your fabrics to each other, you need your chalk for marking measurements, you also need your tape rule, of course, for measuring certain dimensions on these fabrics, and we will see how that will be done as we go along in this video. You need elastic because this particular bonnet is going to require your elastic band. You also need an extra piece of Ankara fabric, and I'll be showing you all how I'll be making use of that extra piece. So yeah, this is me now. My fabric is already folded into 4 places. The dimension of this fabric right here is 22 inches by 22 inches. Feel free to make it bigger than this, but because I don't want my bonnet to be too big, I decided to go with 22 inches. Feel free to increase it if you want a very big Ankara bonnet. Anyway, the part I was showing you right there is the part where you want to measure from. So that's like the tipping point of your circle. Make sure you're measuring from the part that is totally covered. You're not measuring from the opened parts of your fabric after folding. So all I'm doing now is I'm measuring 11 inches all around to get my circle, because I want the radius of my circle to be 11 inches. And once that is marked, I'm just going to cut out my circle like so. So next up, I'm going to spread my circle wide open so you guys can see. And yeah, if you are someone who sews regularly, you already understand the concept of cutting a full circle. So yeah, this is my circle right here. So next up, what you want to do is you're going to place the two fabrics on each other, right side facing right side. Of course, we all know that the right side of our satin fabric is the shiny part. So the shiny part of your fabric, the satin or the silk now, will be facing the right side of your cotton or your Ankara fabric. Once that is done, you need to secure the satin onto the Ankara fabric or the cotton fabric, depending on what you are using now. So you secure it with your pin, and once you're done securing your fabrics to each other properly, you take it to your machine and sew it all around the circle, and just leave a space of 3 to 4 inches for turning the circle inside out. You're sewing on either 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, but make sure you're not exceeding 1/2 inch with your sewing. So I'm just going to go ahead now to do that, and this is my fabric now. I already sewed my fabric on 1/2 inch, and I left a space of 4 inches for turning my circle inside out. I'm just going to quickly cut off that extra piece of thread because we want to make sure that our work is very clean. Before we turn the fabric inside out, make sure you notch to allow the circle lap properly. Let it flatten out when you go ahead to press the circle. So once I'm done notching and everything, I'm now going to go ahead to turn my fabric inside out and give it a fantastic press. With pressing, make sure you are using a steam iron that will allow the fabric really iron properly and flatten out. Everything I'm saying are things that I believe everyone knows, especially if you are into sewing, but for the sake of my newbies, I just want to reiterate some of the points that I'm stating in this video. So now that I'm done notching and everything, I'm just turning my circle inside out, and once I'm done turning it out properly, I'm going to take it to my ironing board and give it a very good press. Press it such that the circle becomes very flat, you're not seeing any poofy sides, and once that is done, we are going to continue to the next stage. Alright guys, so I already went ahead to give my circle a good press, and you can see it looking very smooth and just appealing to the eyes. Next up, we are going to measure our elastic. The elastic band I'm using is 1 inch wide, and I need the circumference of my head, right? The diameter of my head. I don't know if it's circumference or diameter, but I need to measure the size of my head, and my head circumference now is 23 inches. I don't want the bonnet to be too tight on my edges because we all know that it's very important that your bonnet isn't too tight so it doesn't create friction on your edges. So I'm using my exact head measurements, 23 inches, and I'm now going to be marking 1.5 inch extra, right? Because I'm going to sew on 1.5 inch on this right side of the fabric that I already turned inside out. This is to create space for my elastic band. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Feel free to leave me questions in the comment section if you have any questions about any of the things I'm doing in this video. Anyway, what I'm doing now is I already marked my 1.5 inch, and I'm now going to sew it all around. I'm not leaving any space this time because I'm passing my elastic through that space. So now that I'm done, this is what my sewing looks like. I already went ahead to sew on our 1.5 inch. Next up, I'm going to be passing my elastic through that space that we left at the beginning. All I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be securing the elastic with this safety pin so my elastic doesn't get lost in the circle when passing it around. Secure the elastic on the two sides to ensure that you're not losing it at any point when passing, because that can be an issue for you when you're passing the elastic and it gets stuck inside the fabric. You have to start afresh, kind of, because you have to loosen what you've done basically. So once I've already secured the elastic on the two sides with a safety pin, I'm just going to pass the elastic through my circle. And with this, you need to take your time, no rush, take it easy, and then just pass it as gently as possible. I sped up this pass because I didn't want to bore you guys with me just passing the elastic through my circle. So now that I'm done passing my elastic through my circle, I'm just going to take my elastic to my sewing machine now and just secure it together. Make 2 straight stitches just to make sure that the elastic becomes one round elastic. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. If you've been enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Also, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Alright guys, so this is what my bonnet looks like. Very easy, very simple. I went ahead to also secure that part, the opening, the 4 inches opening that we made to pass the elastic, and voila, we are pretty much done with our bonnet. On to the next part of this tutorial, we are going to be making the band that is going to serve as a wrap for our bonnet. So for days when you don't want to wear your bonnet as just a regular bonnet, right? You want to switch it up a little bit, you can just add a headband to it, and that will just add a very nice swag to the to the bonnet. I can't believe I just said swag, but yeah, it's going to make the look very spicy. Anyway, so this is my fabric here. I'm going to be using 10-inch wide because I'm going to be folding it into 2 and I'm going to be sewing on 1/2 inch. So my band is going to be 4.5 inches wide. I'm sure you guys already understand that mathematics, but when I fold my fabric of 10 inches into 2, I have 5 inches. By the time I sew 1/2 inch, the 1/2 inch is taken from the 2 sides of the fabric that I folded, so 1 inch is gone. So we basically have 4 inches. Oh, what am I saying? We have 4.5 inches wide fabric. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm going to secure my fabric now on both sides, and because I don't want the mouth to just be straight and boring, I want it to have some kind of spiciness to it. Okay, we are giving spicy vibes in this year. So I'm going to measure 4 inches on the length of the fabric now. Measure 4 inches, and on the other side of the fabric, just join that 4 inches that you measured to the tip of the fabric. I'm sure I don't know how to explain this thing such that it doesn't confuse you, but you guys should just watch what I'm doing. Once I'm done measuring that 4 inches, I'm just going to connect it to the edge of the fabric just to give the headband a slanting tip by the time I turn it inside out. It will all make sense as we go along in the video. So I'm just going to sew on that line that I just made and then cover up the whole length of this piece of fabric. So I'm going to sew it all the way down and slant the 2 edges. Once I'm done, I'm going to cut off the excess fabric from that slanting part because we don't want that part to be puffy. We want it to lap properly when we turn it inside out. Also note that when you are sewing the length of the fabric, leave some space for turning. So leave say 3 to 4 inches for you to be able to turn the fabric inside out. This is what I have here. I left about 4 inches to enable me turn my headband inside out. So I'm just going to take my time and just turn it. With turning, you just need to be patient, take your time, and then it will be very easy for you to turn your fabric inside out. Once I'm done turning the fabric inside out, I'm going to take it to my ironing board now and give the fabric a good press, and voila, the headband and the bonnet are both ready for wearing. As usual, you guys know that whenever I make stuff like this on my channel, I like to also wear it on myself, so you guys can just imagine how it's going to look on you when you also go ahead to replicate this tutorial and make something like this for yourself. You can also make it a business, right? You can start a business where you are selling head bonnets for people. You know that bonnets now are reigning, is something that is in vogue now, so you can just start your own small business making these types of material for people, and you make your money from it. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead now to wear these items on myself and show you how you can style it. So yeah, this is me here, just in case you're wondering the voice you've been listening to. This is the face behind the voice. So this is what my bonnet looks like. The interior is so gorgeous, and it's going to be gentle on my strands. I have a fussy natural hair. Most times on my channel I post content about hair, and I like to incorporate hair accessories that are going to be very helpful to my hair as well. So yeah, in case you're not subscribed, subscribe, because you get useful information from this channel basically. So yeah, I'm just going to tie my headband now around my bonnet. People that see me outside will not even know that this is a bonnet, right? By the time they see me, with this beautiful head wrap, they'll be like, what's this thing that you're wearing? But if you know, you know. If you're a subscriber on here, you already know my secrets. So yeah, I'm just going to tie I'm going to tie my bonnet now and just give myself a bow-ish kind of situation in front. Feel free to just style it however you want, own your style. This is just me styling it as best as I think I can. Feel free to make it nicer or the same as what I'm doing here. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this tutorial. Like I said earlier, if you enjoyed watching, if you found this tutorial useful, don't forget to give me a big fat thumbs up. That thumbs up helps YouTube spread my content to a wider audience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love and appreciate you all. Feel free to share this video also with your friends that love to do DIYs for themselves or for their loved ones. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.
They think that I have lost my mind, that I'm not being true, but they don't have a